I mean, I'm sure that hits you right there. So those are the overcoming objections. We're gonna hold this till questions later because I'm gonna stop screen sharing and give it to Shay. But hopefully that helped everyone as far as making sure we throw seeds during the presentation, we close like we mean it, and we just are professional trainers in the field. We gotta help people move forward with a great decision. So go ahead, Shay.
Wow, that was really good, Jan. I just want to recap a couple of things that you said that were really, really important. You talked about the disappearing man, right? That does hit home. For those of you who haven't, lost a spouse or know someone who has lost a spouse, it hits home because that actually happened to T and I in training. And I've told that story a couple of times where our good friend, Tanya Swain, had lost her husband, who was 25, to a motorcycle accident. And he did disappear. He was the breadwinner, and she lost her home and they lost cars. So every time they lost their 2 cars, every time we go through that slide, I think about her, because I personally was not serious when we first started. I had gotten into Primerica just to make money, right? And we all understand we get in here so we can pay our bills and not live paycheck to paycheck and not be job broke. However, I learned from that, right? So when you're going through these slides, you all, it has to be genuine and it has to be passionate. That if a spouse leaves and he is the breadwinner, or if they make the same amount, it's not just, you hear a lot of clients say, half the income. You got to dive in on, yes, half the income, and, right, it's just not half the income. In most cases, they lose everything. Everything is lost, is gone, right? There's permanent financial devastation if that foundation is not protected, which is that income, right? So that's huge. Then the compound interest slide. I got some nuggets. So a couple of things that you did, I do not do. I'm gonna make an adjustment. That was really good, Jen. That was really good how you talked about the saving part, right? That's huge. Because what I found in the Black community, right, a lot of the times we don't even understand high interest versus lower interest. So saying that right there, just talking about saving is huge. Saving that $200 if they blow it, that was big. And then the stories are, you all, I mean, when you get stories, you've got to tell those stories. And then you got to be transparent, right? I don't like for people to think that T and Shay know everything. No, we don't. This is where we were, this is where we are, and this is where we're going. For me, that has been the most important on appointments, because we want people to understand, no, I understand you. We're both college educated. We both had 6-figure jobs. We were job broke. We lived paycheck to paycheck. We had student loans, right? We did all the mistakes that you did. We made them. We want people to understand that. So that was really good. So I'm going to talk about increasing your life insurance sale. I am a confessed premium junkie. Y'all, I love life insurance, okay? Right? Because I know for us, for my grandparents, they had whole life. I had a whole life. My mother had nothing, right? So I am a premium junkie. I want everybody to know that foundation, it is the most important. We've got to protect it. 80% of the reason we write life sales is being in the right market and credibility of the person we are training, right? If you are a trainer and you're doing that work session, you've got to make sure that trainee has a market, because if they don't have a market and they don't have any credibility, you've just made your work harder for you, right? That is huge. Fully qualify your appointments, 5 pointers plus credibility, gainful employment, young kids, and healthy. That's happened to me. I've made that mistake where I go on an appointment and they don't work, but they have kids, but they don't have employment. They don't have any money. So we've got to make sure that they're qualified. And listen, I'll sit down with a single mom. I'll sit down with a single dad, right? But having kids is important, and having a job is just as important, because if they don't have a job, you all, there's no way that they're going to be able to contribute to life insurance, investments, legal, whatever it is that you're doing, they're not going to be able to do it. Make great first impression with your greeting. Smile. That's big. When you pop up on that screen, you got to be smiling. You can't be mean mugging. Even if you just got into an argument with your spouse or your cousin or your upline or your downline or your south, it doesn't matter. You've got to be smiling, right? You got to show those pearly whites. Form, family, occupation, recreation, motivate. Weight, Why am I talking? Ask these questions and listen to them. They will tell you. That will help you recruit across the qualified appointment. That will help you get them as a client. If you're listening to them and you're forming them, this is huge, because a lot of the times when I'm forming, right, and I've made the mistake of not making sure that it's fully qualified because we want to get on so many appointments in a week, I'll find out that they don't have a job. You know, the children are grown. And I'm looking at the trainee like, you see what I'm saying? You done set me up. And what I've started doing is I started letting them do the appointment. That's what I've been doing. Use involvement questions on life insurance slide. Ask, do you own life insurance outside your job? You guys know the life insurance slide. Jen Lee got the tech savvy thing going on, pulling up all these different screens. I gotta learn how to do that. I was talking to Shaq about that yesterday. He was like, I said, no, my kids teach me the technology. Stop saying that, Shaq. I'm not getting old. I'm getting better. I'm seasoned. Do you own your life insurance outside your job? Ask them. Do you know what kind it is and how it works? You'll see, right? They get discombobulated when you ask these questions. They're like, no, I don't, right? If you are depending on group life insurance, have you considered obtaining your own life insurance outside of your job? They'll straight up tell you no. They don't know the reasons, right? So when you go into that group insurance, you freaking destroy group insurance. Give a compelling, disturbing presentation with questions and stories to create a sense of urgency for someone with no personal or very little life insurance, right? Shaq talks about closing on the first appointment. That is one of them. They have group life insurance, right? There's no need to look over the certificate. You don't own it. Now, you don't say it like that. This is just how I'm doing the training. You don't own it, Mr. or Mrs. Client. You cannot take it with you. The group insurance video is a killer, right? You hear them saying, oh my God, wow. You hear them talking to themselves during the video. A presentation that people cannot say no to. We have that, right? The leaders have done an amazing job with this presentation. If they have none, or that's supposed to be, or very little, they need someone to show them the immediate need. Excuse my typos. Right? We've got to show them the immediate need. This is urgent. It's more urgent, like Jen Lee said, Amazon. It's more urgent than all of these different things that we spend money on every day. Destroy group life insurance. Never, 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 ever, ever, ever solely depend only on group life insurance. If it's free, get as much as you can. If you are paying $1 into it, you are paying $1 too much, right? If you sit down with Mr. and Mrs. Client and all they have is group, right? You should be getting the application. You should be helping them apply by those reasons right there. Very, very important, y'all. If you do the right job and destroy group life insurance, you will be helping that couple, that mom, that dad, apply for private life insurance to protect those survivors. The sample certificate, that thing is amazing. What is the actively at work requirement? That one I go in on, because employees just simply don't understand that. Think about it. We're in the middle of a pandemic. A lot of employees are working, yes, but their hours are cut. And in most cases, when hours are cut, what happens to benefits? They're cut too. And if they are employed but not actively working, that means that group life could potentially be terminated, right? So you've got to hit home on that, because you know a lot of people, their hours have been cut. They're not working right now. They're on unemployment. And they assume that they have group life insurance, and they don't, right? Tell a story. Training Ramon Colon on Sheila's team, direct to Sheila, who just recently got licensed. We sat down with one of his mom's friends. Listen to this. She was a nurse, a registered nurse for GW Hospital. You all know GW Hospital right here, DC metropolitan area. 41 years. Write this story down. You guys can steal this story. 41 years she worked for GW Hospital, right? She was diagnosed with breast cancer. She called after 2 months, 3 months after not working to make sure her group insurance was in force. They had terminated her group insurance, right? And the reason why is because she wasn't actively working. So that money wasn't coming out of her paycheck, no longer. Not only did they terminate the insurance, they didn't even call her to tell her it was terminated. She didn't get a letter. She didn't get a phone call. 41 years of her dadgum life she spent at GW Hospital, and they terminated it. Think about that. 41 years, you all. That's longer than some of y'all have been living. 41 years. Destroy cash value. Funny banking, banks and fridges, the funnel for universal life. If you don't destroy cash value, right, with these slides, with these images, you aren't doing the client any justice. You've got to be a master at going through these slides. They've got to feel it, because so many people, they think they know about whole life, cash value. That was me. I had it on myself and I had it on my son, didn't have anything on T, just daggum ignorant, didn't know nothing about life insurance and thought I did. You got to destroy it until they start making facial expressions because they did not understand it. Ask, is there any way you would ever knowingly put money here after you go through the banking slide, right? If you were to put your money in the bank, would you prefer bank A, higher rate of return, or bank B, lower rate of return, right? When you go through those questions and they answer bank A to all of the questions, you ask them about bank B. Is there any way you would ever knowingly put money here? If you found out you had knowingly put money here, how would you feel? What would you do about it, right? And some of these clients have cash value. So they're telling you, you done already said it, I'm about to close you, it's going down. Learn how to identify a person's personality. This is big because I'm a superpower A. I got A tatted on my chest. Superpower. But I know when I go into an appointment, I've got to identify their personality, right? Because most A's, right, we don't mesh well with other personalities. So I know that. So I have to tone my passion down, tone talking fast down, tone my energy down a little bit. S, stability, high professional emphasize, stability of PRI, our crusade, long-term plan, right? I have a friend, a very close friend, that's S. My daughter is an S. I mean, they are strategic, they are structured. They want everything done right. They want to calculate everything. They want to think about it before they move forward. So you've got to have that long-term plan. You've got to talk about our crusade. That is huge for S. T, technical, emphasize F&A, the FIN number, rule of 72, investments, value their questions, be patient. As an A, we are impatient. We don't want to wait. We want it right now, right? So if you're sitting with a T, technical, you got to be quiet. You got to ask their questions. You got to listen and be patient. Action, A, move faster, passion, emphasize more in money and freedom, right? One thing that bothers me is somebody who talk extra slow. I'm like, I'm finishing the sentence in my head and you talking so slow. Right? That's the A, right? So if you sitting down with an A person, you got to come with it. What is it? I'm excited. I'm passionate. Let's move. What we got going on? Relationship, make friends, have fun, helping people, team. This is big, right? Ours are super, super, super duper on helping people and team and making friends and having fun. That's huge. So you guys we got to identify who we're sitting with, because believe it or not, this will help you increase getting life insurance sales. Because if you're not identifying and you're not clicking with who you're sitting with behind on the other side of the screen, right? That can cause friction. It can turn them away. They don't trust you. They don't like you. These are different things that can happen and they don't even know why, but it's a personality conflict, right? At times of concern or objection, sit back and listen, hear them out. Seek first to understand, be warm, kind and professional, patient, be sedated, right? I learned be sedated from Shaq. Sometimes Shaq would just sit there, you all know what I'm talking about, and he'll be staring at you like, okay, what do I say? He is sedated because he's thinking, he's calculating, right? He is the best in the game at doing that. He's calculating, he's sedated, he's thinking about, what's the next chess move? That's how we gotta be with our clients, right? You gotta know. Take notes. I take a lot of notes. I have a composition book where I take notes on every appointment that I go on. I date them, family, kids' names, ages, what do they have, what they said, right? You got to do that with all of your clients. Release pressure. Release that pressure, right? Because if they are in the wrong product, we want them to understand we're here to help you. We're here to educate you. You totally understand. Feel, felt, found. This is huge. You got to tell them how you feel, how you felt, and what you found with this situation. Get them to understand. Put yourself in their shoes so you can understand what they're saying, right? I learned that the best in my marriage, right? T doesn't always think how I think. So oftentimes I have to put myself in his body, which is really hard because I'm not a man. I don't think like a man, but I have to understand, okay, this is how he feels. The same thing with your clients. If they're in a product that they didn't know, that was me and T, we had a cash value we didn't know. We thought we knew it all, right? You got to put yourself in their shoes, get them to understand and educate them. Ask questions to be sure you understand, right? Isolate their concern and propose a solution. That is huge because you're letting them know that you're genuine. This is big, you guys, when you're getting that application. We don't want to just wham, bam, thank you, man, and send them about their way, right? We don't want to do that. We want them to understand that we are here. We understand. We've been there. We're transparent. We want to educate you. We have a solution. We want you to learn, right? We want to protect your survivors. We want you to feel comfortable with moving forward with applying for life insurance. All of these things are big. Know how to overcome their concerns. I want to think about it. Jen went over this. I want to talk it over. Not sure I can't afford to shop around. Jen went over that already. Find places to insert your story. Stories are, they are the best, you all. I'm telling you, you've got to have an arsenal of stories. All of this information is great, but when you tell those stories that are real, watch them perk up, right? Watch them get in tune because you're showing relatability. You're telling something that actually happened, right? All these facts and all these things that we say about Primerica, sure, phenomenal, right? But those stories, that story when I tell about the 25-year-old man, right, whose wife told him that she was pregnant, hopped on his bike, you all, 25 years old, 25, hopped on his bike, right, to go hang out with his boys to celebrate that his wife was pregnant again, got hit by a truck, hit and run, passed away on a medevac on the way to the hospital, 25 years old. That's real. We sat down with him. His wife moved forward. He said he was too young. He said he didn't need it. He passed away a few months later. No coverage, right? Stories. Use that story. I just used it this week with someone, a young couple. The wife wanted to move forward. The husband didn't. He was 26. She's 24. He made all these excuses. I told that story, right? The wife was dang near in tears because she wanted to do it. Stay at home mom. The husband is the only one that works. Money is kind of tight, but they spend the money on the son's birthday party, $200 that weekend, right? Without them even knowing what I was doing, I asked them, so how much was the birthday party? You guys had a birthday party during the pandemic. How would you spend? $200? Come on. It's $47 to get both of you covered. You guys are young. $200 on a birthday party, you all. Right? So you gotta calculate and ask these questions and tell these stories. Closing is like riding a bike. You might fall down several times. Once you get up, you got it. Right? Anybody remember learning how to ride a bike? You will fall, but you were so determined to get back up on that bike, right? And get it right. So you can hit them curves, get in the street, right? Do a wheelie. I don't know what y'all call it nowadays, but once you got it, it's a wrap. It's the same thing with closing. I used to stumble. I used to fumble. I used to tear it up, but now it's calculated. I got it down. Closing is helping people make decisions that are in their best interest. We're not slanging drugs. We're helping them properly protect their income in the event that they pass away early. It's not if, it's when. That's what we're doing, right? So we're helping them make the best decisions, you all. To build your closing skills, you must first close too often and too soon. Shaq used to always tell me this. Shay, you got to close every day, too often, too soon. Close every day, too often, too soon. That was an affirmation of mine. I close too often, too soon every day. I close too often, too soon every day. You close too little and too late, you'll never learn. For you all that go on an appointment, 4 months ago, then you're going on one today, and then you wait another 4 months, you're never going to get it. It has to be consistent, repetition. You got to keep going until you get it. You got to put your trainer in front of as many people. If you're a soloist or a trainer, you got to put those trainees in front of as many people so you can get this right, right? The time is now, you all. It's time to increase our life insurance sales. Mika just went over 1 million, right? If anybody butt is burning, right, this is how, right here. This is one of the areas, right? And that's my ending, but I'm going to close it out with this, right? I'm going to echo what we said last week. You all know what it is. We got to get Shaq over 500,000. Anybody, is Thomas on here? Where's he at in income? I didn't look this morning. Shameful. So that's the first thing. You got to make sure you're looking at it every. Jenny,
476.
What is it?
476.
476. What is 476?
$476,000.
That's where he's at. 470. Okay, so how much does he need? What's that? 24,000.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we need 24,000 in income, you all. So we got work to do. We got we got more than 11 days because the income month closes out later. So we got to push. We can do is everybody does their part. Everybody does their part. Everybody hit their goals, right? Promotions, right? Trainees getting high bonuses. All of these things will take into play in getting Shaq over 500,000. Listen, you hold his flag, somebody will hold your flag. No excuses. We're all busy. We all got things going on. We all know somebody's sick. We all dealing with the pandemic. We know, right? But I tell you this, progression will help all of that. When you move forward in your life and you're accomplishing your goals and dreams, you'll feel better. One thing I learned when my mama died, the world did not stop for Shay Felton. It kept going. My bills still need to be paid. My children still need to be taken care of. So all of these daggum excuses that I had, everything still kept moving, right? It's the same thing for you. Life will not stand still because you have a little situation. You got to grow bigger than your problem. That's what I learned, right? Coach told me when my mom was dying, make sure you read every day. No matter what you do, make sure you read every single day. That helped me. We all got things going on, you all, but you got to become bigger than your issues. This is the time. We got to do it this month. All of these people come flying by Shaq. Enough is enough, right? Mika Saunders went over $1 million. She had what? 2 people go over 300,000. Somebody go over 200,000. That's what we need. We need more ring wearers, diamonds, RVP stepping up, regional leaders stepping up, district, whoever. Everybody got to step up, right? That's how we're going to get Shaq over $1 million. So yes, we're doing it for Shaq, but we're doing it for ourselves as well, right? So we got work to do. 23,000 left, 24,000 left. We almost there, right? It starts now. I told you guys last week who the people that were on. If you start setting your appointments before Saturday, you'll jump ahead of the game. If you're setting at least 5 before Saturday, when Saturday hits, you already got 5 going, right? When we start our Saturday morning training, we already got 20, 25 going because we're teaching our trainers and our leaders to set 5 before Saturday. So therefore, we can get to 40, 45, 50, 60. You got to start ahead of the game. You got to be strategic. This is the month. We got 10 days left. We got 10 days left to close out August. We all can do this. It's a push. It's a standard hierarchy push. We need everybody to do something. Like Shaq said, Bruce said, do more than a dead body. No zeros, you all. No zeros. Pick up the phone. Get your trainer in front of people. You know, increase those bonuses. Let's do this. Regional vice presidents, let's hit our goals. Regional leaders, Jen, Shadell, you guys are doing your part. The people on you guys' team, do your part, and we can make it happen, y'all. We're going to celebrate. When we get back together, we can physically touch and see one another. We're going to hang. We're going to party. But first, we got a job to do. Let's get with it. Let's get with it. 500,000. We got $24,000 to go to get Shaq over 500,000, right? Everybody should be talking about this on their team. Everybody should be talking about this. One thing about the big hierarchies, right? T and I talk to Eric Davis all the time. They talk trash about getting their leaders to where they need to be. Huge. They talk about it. They're not quiet. Within their hierarchy, they talk about it. That's what we got to do, right? We got to do our part. T and Shay got to get the ring. Gabe Italian, get the ring. Jen, get the ring. Shondell, get the ring. We got to do our part. And then automatically, things will start happening. It'll start rolling. It'll move like a fine oil machine. Just boom, boom, rings, diamonds, watches, regional vice presidents. That's what we got to do. All right, y'all ready? Get set. All right, go book your appointments. Oh, questions. That's right. See, I was going to knock y'all out.
5 minutes.
Questions. Nobody has questions. So that means everybody should be writing 10 grand personal. 500 bands, yes. 40 piece, like he told us. What if someone has a private policy? Jen, that's Alex. You want to answer that?
Alex, what do you mean? You ran into multiple private policies. You can unmute yourself.
What if someone has a private policy and you go through like cash value and they say, oh, I wouldn't put any money into this. And then like you go and try to replace it and they're like, oh, I'm not comfortable with changing what I have right now. What would you say?
what questions did you ask in the beginning? Like, run through it with me. If you go through banks, right? You went through bank A and bank B. They say
Mhm.
A, right? And then what are the questions that you ask?
If you know, would you ever knowingly put your money into an account like this?
No.
And they say, yeah, and they say no. And then, like, I mean, I had an appointment where as soon as I said that, they said,
What are the questions you asked?
um,
Run through it with me.
because
Okay. So if you, and this, Alex and me are very close guys. I can do this with him. When we go into the field, Alex, and the questions are not coming fluidly, one after the other, then it's going to be harder for you to close. Because if you're asking a question, it's not what you ask, it's how you ask it as well, right? So if you knew your policy worked like this, how much more money would you want to pay into it? Nothing. And, right? So the first question you asked was, would you ever knowingly put your money to an account like this? Keyword knowingly, no, right? If you found out your policy worked like this, would you want to how much more money would you want to pay into it? Client says none.